Hey family, it's me. Well, I wanted to come on today to discuss um, a topic that I think is very, very important in this time for our people because what is happening, what I see is we, some of our people never, well, we're at a point in time where we should be coming out of everything that is going on around us. But we have been bred into this, so we think in our minds there's no other way. So, because we also been taught to look outside of ourselves for everything. So while we're looking outside ourselves, we're looking outside ourselves for the answer to everything instead of going within, because that's the only place we need to go is within and remembering self. Everybody, we all have bad things that have happened to us in our lives, but for us to, we are in this air or this atmosphere of where it seems like the negative things, the bad things that have happened to us, has uh, been over dominated all the good things that have ever happened to us in our lives. So I say that to say this, that the answers are within ourselves, no matter what we've been through. Even if we've been through something, we can take a look at it and examine it from all the things that we have learned in our lives up to now, and we can understand why those things may have happened. And once we understand why those things may have happened, we can start seeing the big picture, overall big picture of everything. So when they taught us about something outside of ourselves, they taught us to look for help in other places. I remember when I was a kid, when I was younger, um, I felt like, when you're younger, you rely on people more. So I was at a point in my teenage years where I had to learn the hard way to be independent and not, because I relied on people and they didn't always come through. So sometimes you have to find your own way, not give up, not say I'm not going to do this because this person didn't help me with this, but say, well, maybe I'm relying on others a little bit too much and I need to rely on self-reliance. I need to connect with self more instead of looking outside of ourselves. I think our ancient ancestors, our ancient cultures, we were taught more about thinking for ourselves, how to think for ourselves, how to resolve our situations. And when things do get a little bit heavy for you, of course, help will always be there. But it's not where you always searching for or have to search, because you got that village around you that's always going to have your back, you know. But you do have your self-reliance. So I say this all to say this big thing is that overall I see that we as a people, we have come in a sunken place. We have been raised in a sunken place that has taught us that everything, hi Gab Talk, yeah, all is well. I'm getting the vitamin D, feeling good, feeling really well and happy. So just when we look around us and we see as a whole, as a people, we have fallen into this sunken place. We don't have our We don't have, we have our communities, our neighborhoods, but we don't have our villages that we used to have within those neighborhoods. You know, we don't, everybody is like an island all to themselves. And where we used to work differently than that. Hey, True Royal, we used to work differently than that as a people. Um, I think it's very important that we, you know, not teach our kids obedience, because that's training them up in the animal way of thinking, and we get them to think. So if we're people that are thinking as a whole, as a group, wow, just imagine we wouldn't be in their system trying to get them to, or to do the things we need them to do. We wouldn't be needing all that. See, the problem is we're so all broken up as a people and split up in different ways, just like they have split us up, and we don't really grasp that their thinking is definitely, their mind is constructed totally different than ours. And it doesn't think in a way that is functional for us. It thinks in a way that is destructive to us as a people. So for us, it's very critical that we get back to our thinking. Hey, I see, welcome. And get back to our thinking that is productive to us and conducive to the way we need to be, to our being, because our thinking helps construct a well-being for ourselves, well way of being. Hey, yes, Wiseman. So it's very, 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 very tough these days when, you know, we're in this animalistic system and we don't even realize it. Our people don't even realize that it's of the left side of the brain, intellect. Yeah, okay. I understand you're driving. So we have to get out of the animalistic way of being, doing things, thinking, and living, and reconstruct a whole new way of being. Because right now, you know, everybody's trying to get out the votes, get out and vote. And right now in my state of Virginia, there's McCain, and then there's the Black Republican. So, you know, I'm pretty much not in it at all. And there's no way anybody's gonna get me to, I'm just not gonna, I just don't participate in that, because to me that's the animal's way of living. And if we're as a people to get out of this animalistic way of living and being, if we want to get out of this prison hole, it's up to us as a people. And it starts in the mind through our spirituality. Because just like Lord McCall had said, he said, when I went into Africa, he said, there was no beggars, there was no thieves, there were riches beyond riches, and there were people who we didn't have no crime, we didn't have nothing. But he saw a way to manipulate and deceive us into losing, into so they can steal it all from us. And that's what they did. And we as a people, and he saw our spirituality. That's a must. I must harp on that, because our spirituality is the key to us breaking free of all of this. Because if you have spirituality, you have the 11 laws of Ma'at, which is probably the big reason why when he went into Africa and he saw no crime and he saw no beggars, like here in America, we see beggars on the street, we see homeless people on the street because the system. And we are not going to change an animal system as long as the animal is trying to survive. And this is what the animal is doing. So it is up to us to change our mind and um, go back to our spiritual ways of being, and which is 11 laws: peace, reciprocity, justice, love, and should be and others. I haven't really, I can't remember all of them, but that's what that's, it's still 11 total. But so next time I come on, we'll be harping on the laws of Mod more, focusing more on those. But I just wanted to come on today and talk about, because I thought it was more important to talk about how we still feed the system, and you know, with our spirituality, we don't give ourselves credit, enough credit, because we think that it really doesn't matter where we spend our money. The whole thing is they're using our system. They're using our system for everything. Hey, Ron Redbird, welcome. They're using our system. They're using everything that our ancestors have created for everything. So we, by no means, can ever think, because we're supposed to be rising above this, because we've already had our chance we already succeeded in this lifestyle. Now we see the young black Republicans. They had just had a gathering with the young black Republicans, and Trump met with them and stuff like that. But the whole thing is, with that is, the whole thing is there's a certain percentage of our people who don't understand. They're gonna maintain that animalistic way of being. So you're gonna have a whole lot of mixed up kids raised up, who are, even if they're black, because I mentioned before that many of our black children, they're either being raised by white grandmothers or in the household with some kind of Caucasian influence on how they raise in the culture, how they're cultured, and it's never a good thing. And because we're not put here as a color. We're put here as spiritual beings having a physical experience, you know, and through that, our whole thing is to get out of this low state that we're in, this mind frame of the animalistic, I need, or I need it, you know. I need this for survival, that I'm gonna kill this to get this for survival. We never had that system. We succeeded. Our civilization, if it wasn't for them coming along, would have lasted a long time, because we had a really good, perfect system going. And they attest to that themselves. They'll say that in history. You can find documents that would tell you that when they went into Africa, we didn't have division, we didn't have none of this. But then they'll lie and do movies and tell stories and make like, over in here in America, like the Native Americans were fighting each other, or the tribes were fighting each other, which is all lies, because by that time they were already taking the minds of the people, you know. No, family, I can't stay on too long. But unfortunately, I got low battery today. But the whole thing is, we cannot serve two masters. Either you want to be of the left side of the brain and be imprisoned in this system, or you want to be in the right side of the brain and creating our own way out of the animal side of the brain. And the animal side of the brain deals with intellect. And pretty much what these people are dealing with is intellect and um, over intellect and um, dealing with how am I going to do this, live day by day, survival. So dealing with survival. When we knew, and I said this long time ago in 2013, 2014, sometime frame, when I was talking on Facebook, I used to say to people, first thing, when I first awakened and I was talking to my soul about all this, my soul was bringing revelations to me saying that we never were a people of survival. We were a people of being. So my thing is for our people to let go and allow self and stop trying to survive and be. With that said, family, thank you all for showing up. Until next time, true love, real peace, and the higher self within the soul. Until next time, family, peace and love. Yes, that's right. We don't need vampires. We need us. Till next time.